Imagine this. The cold metal bed frame creaks beneath you as you adjust your position. It's a dark June night in 1962, and the sound of the waves crashing against the rocky shores of Alcatraz Island fills your cell. You glance at the hole you've been digging for months behind a carefully placed vent cover. Your heart races. Tonight is the night. With a makeshift drill carved from a vacuum motor and a stolen spoon, you've scraped away at this concrete fortress. Now, freedom is just a few steps and one icy plunge into the San Francisco Bay away. But the question remains, will you make it, or will Alcatraz claim you like it has so many others? Welcome to the story of Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglin, the men who dared to escape from the most secure prison in America. But here's the real question. Did they succeed, or did the icy waters swallow them whole? Stay tuned as we dive into the chilling details of this infamous escape and explore the theories that keep this case alive decades later. And hey, if mysteries like this captivate you, don't forget to subscribe to Mystery Junky for more. Alcatraz wasn't just any prison. Known as The Rock, it was a fortress perched on a desolate island in San Francisco Bay. With its rugged cliffs, freezing waters, and strong tidal currents, the prison was designed to be inescapable. Alcatraz housed the worst of the worst, criminals deemed too dangerous for regular prisons. Famous inmates included Al Capone, George Machine Gun Kelly, and Robert Stroud, also known as the Birdman of Alcatraz. Why was Alcatraz so feared? Its location. Even if someone managed to escape the heavily guarded cells and perimeter, the freezing waters and treacherous currents of the bay served as a natural barrier. Escaping Alcatraz was like trying to fly out of a cage with clipped wings. So, how did three men defy all odds? Let's talk about the men who took on this impossible challenge. Frank Morris, the brains of the operation. Known for his high IQ, Morris was no stranger to prison escapes. He'd successfully broken out of multiple prisons before landing in Alcatraz. But this time he wasn't working alone. John and Clarence Anglin, brothers with a knack for teamwork. They grew up in a family of farmers in Georgia, but crime became their way of life. Their specialty? Bank robbery. After several failed attempts to stay out of prison, they ended up in Alcatraz, where they met Morris. Together, these men formed an unlikely alliance. They were smart, resourceful, and most importantly, determined to break free from the unbreakable. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment escape. It was a meticulously planned operation that took months of preparation. The level of detail in their plan will leave you speechless. Using stolen spoons, makeshift tools, and pure determination, the men chiseled away at the ventilation ducts in their cells. Each night, they would carefully scrape the concrete walls, hiding the noise by playing music or covering it with the ambient sounds of the prison. Can you imagine the patience it took to scrape away concrete for hours every night without being caught? This alone proves how desperate they were for freedom. To buy themselves time, the men created dummy heads from plaster, soap, and real human hair collected from the prison barbershop. These heads were so realistic that guards didn't notice anything unusual during their nightly checks. One can only marvel at the ingenuity here. Who thinks of crafting decoy heads to fool guards? These weren't just criminals, they were masterminds. The most incredible part of their escape was the makeshift raft. Made from over 50 stolen raincoats and glued together with a heat source, the raft was designed to carry all three men across the freezing bay. Talk about DIY engineering. On June 11th, 1962, the escape was set in motion. Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers crawled through their ventilated tunnels, climbed to the roof of the prison, and made their way to the shoreline. Using their raincoat raft, they paddled into the dark, frigid waters of San Francisco Bay. And then they vanished. By morning, the prison was in chaos. Guards discovered the empty cells, the dummy heads, and the ventilation holes. The most secure prison in America had been breached, and three men were now fugitives. But the real question remained: did they survive? Authorities launched one of the largest manhunts in history. The FBI scoured the bay for days, searching for any sign of the escapees. Here's what they found and didn't find. Parts of the raft and personal belongings of the escapees were discovered on nearby Angel Island. But there was no sign of the men themselves. Did they abandon the raft and disappear into the wilderness? Or did the bay claim their lives? Experts argued that the freezing waters and strong currents made survival nearly impossible. Some believe the men drowned shortly after their escape. But here's the catch: no bodies were ever found. Over the years, there have been reported sightings of the Anglin brothers in Brazil, as well as a letter received by the FBI in 2013, allegedly written by John Anglin. The letter claimed the men survived, but were in poor health. Was it real or just a hoax? Let's look at the evidence. Studies have shown that while the bay's waters are treacherous, survival is not impossible. Several strong swimmers have successfully crossed the bay in similar conditions. And let's not forget the Anglin brothers were raised swimming in cold rivers in Georgia. Could their childhood skills have saved them? And then there's the most tantalizing clue: photographs. A family photo surfaced in 1992, allegedly showing the Anglin brothers alive and well in Brazil. Forensic experts have debated its authenticity, but the mystery remains unsolved. What do you think? Could 3 men outsmart Alcatraz in the bay? Or is their survival just wishful thinking? The Great Alcatraz Escape isn't just a story about 3 men breaking out of prison. It's a story about determination, ingenuity, and the human spirit's relentless pursuit of freedom. It challenges us to ask, how far would you go for freedom? This case continues to fascinate because it's a puzzle with no definitive answer. Did these men drown, or did they pull off the greatest prison escape in history? The lack of closure keeps the mystery alive, making it one of the most talked about cases to this day. The escape inspired countless movies, books, and documentaries. Clint Eastwood's film Escape from Alcatraz immortalized the story, and modern shows like Mythbusters have tested the escape's feasibility. Even today, visitors to Alcatraz Island are drawn to the cells of Morris and the Anglin brothers, marveling at the holes they left behind. But the question remains, where are they now? So, what do you think? Did Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers outsmart the impossible? Or did Alcatraz ultimately claim them? Share your theories in the comments, and let's keep this mystery alive together. And if you love diving into unsolved mysteries like this, hit that subscribe button and join the growing community of mystery lovers here at Mystery Junky. Until next time, stay curious and stay spooky. The story of Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers is a tale of determination, brilliance, and mystery that continues to captivate millions. Their daring escape from Alcatraz shattered the illusion of an inescapable prison, leaving behind a haunting question. Did they survive, or did the icy waters of San Francisco Bay seal their fate forever? What makes this case so intriguing is its endless possibilities. These men weren't just criminals. They were genius tacticians who meticulously planned every detail of their escape. From carving tunnels out of concrete walls to building a raft from raincoats, their ingenuity is nothing short of remarkable. They outsmarted one of the most secure prisons in the world and created a legacy that has defied explanation for over 60 years. But let's be bold. What if they did survive? What if, right now, somewhere in the world, traces of their lives remain hidden, waiting to be uncovered? The theories of their escape to South America, the family photos, and even the letter claiming their survival suggest that the truth might be more unbelievable than fiction. If they truly made it, this escape would stand as one of the greatest triumphs of human ingenuity and perseverance in history. On the other hand, we can't ignore the chilling reality of the bay's deadly waters. The powerful currents and frigid temperatures make survival nearly impossible for the average person. But these men were far from ordinary. Could their determination have been enough to conquer even nature's fiercest challenges? Or did the currents pull them to a watery grave, leaving only their legend behind? And that's why this story refuses to fade. It's a puzzle with no clear answers, a mystery that keeps us guessing, and a testament to the human spirit's refusal to be caged. Whether you believe they drowned or they thrived in freedom, one thing is certain. The great Alcatraz escape remains one of the most fascinating mysteries of all time. So, what's your theory? Did Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers pull off the impossible? Or did Alcatraz claim their lives after all? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit subscribe to Mystery Junky for more mind-boggling mysteries. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning the impossible.